Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. I hope you're all doing well and welcome back to my February TBR. We're in February already. How, why, when, what happened, all the usual topics that everyone discusses at the beginning of every single month because the years always fly by. But enough of that because everyone says it in every single TBR video. How the hell are we in a new month? But we are in February, and the most exciting thing about the beginning of the new month for me and for bookwormers, for book readers, bookworms alike is picking our brand new TBR for the month. So without further ado, let's figure out what I'm going to be reading in February. There's a couple of books I need to get to this month, whether they are buddy reads or books for vlogs. So I'm going to discuss those first because those books definitely need to fit onto my TBR. The first three that I definitely need to read are for the vlog that will be coming out ready for Valentine's Day, and that is reading the Kiss Quotient series by Helen Huan, the Kiss Quotient, the Bride Test, and the Heart Principle. I have read these two already, but I want to reread them, ready to read the Heart Principle. You don't need to read them back to back. They are only companion books, but that's personally what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do a whole vlog about it. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that vlog coming up soon. I'm super excited to reread The Kiss Quotient. It is one of my favourite books when I read it back in 2020. I didn't love The Bride Test, so I'm hoping on a physical reread, as I did listen to this as an audiobook the first time round, I'm going to enjoy it more. And then I'm super excited to finally finish off this series and read The Heart Principle. If you didn't know what the first one is about, it basically follows our main character Stella, who has autism and really struggles with romantic and sexual relationships, so she hires an escort to help her, and it's just the cutest, steamiest romantic book that I have read, and I absolutely adore it, so I cannot wait to reread it. And these two companion novels following different characters from the first book, so I'm super excited just to read these three and have a cute romantic time in the lead up to Valentine's Day with that reading vlog. And the second two books I definitely need to read in February are both buddy reads. The first buddy read that I will be reading is It Ends With Us by Colin Hoover. Holy moly, finally I'm going to be getting on the Colin Hoover bandwagon. I haven't read one of her books before, and I think this is definitely the place to start because everyone raves about it and everyone says that it's brilliant, and Chloe says I'm gonna love it, so I have to trust her opinion. And I'm buddy reading this book with Georgia. She gifted me this for Christmas and said, hey, do you want to buddy read it? And I was like, I'm totally down to buddy read it. Do you want to do it in February? Because this book just gives me like February vibes with the crushed flowers and the colour pink, and it's just very like love, Valentine's Day, romantic love-esque. So I was like, let's do it in February because it seems very fitting, and she was like, I'm totally down. So we'll be buddy reading this in February. I don't know what this book is about per se. All I know is that it kind of follows an abusive relationship. Our main character Lily has always got everything she's wanted. She's worked hard in school, she's graduated college, and she has created her own business, and she finally gets into a relationship that she thinks is the one. However, this guy turns out to be very stubborn, very aggressive, and very abusive, and it's about their relationship, I believe. I've heard people read this and end in tears, so I'm just excited to figure out my own thoughts regarding this book. So that's the first buddy read I am reading in February, and the second buddy read I'm reading in February is with Regan from BookSpot over on Instagram. I'll leave her Instagram down below, as throughout the entire year she's doing the 2022 Fantasy Alphabet Challenge, which basically she has created prompts for every single letter of the alphabet, and she's getting co-hosts along the way to help read books that fit those prompts. And when she reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to partake? I'm like, yes, I would love to, but I'm not a massive fantasy reader, as you guys know. So can we do the L prompt, which is for love, so we can kind of read a fantasy romance? And she's like, yeah, I'm totally down for that. Let's do it in February because of love. And I was like, yeah, perfect. I'm all down for that. So we have picked Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas to read. This challenge actually has a day-to-day page breakdown, so the buddy read will actually be starting on the 21st of February. So if you guys do want to partake and read along with us at Cemetery Boys, then I'll leave all the details down below so you can join in. I'm interested in reading Cemetery Boys. It's never been something that's like been massively top of my radar, but everyone seems to love it, and I do like a little bit of fantasy romance here and there. I know it's more paranormal because it kind of includes ghosts of some sort, but our main character is transgender, and he's trying to get his family to understand his sexuality and his gender along the way of this story, with ghosts involved in some way. I definitely think it's going to be a combination of contemporary romance with a bit of fantasy paranormal twist. I have this book on audiobook on Scribd, so I'm hoping that the audiobook is good because I definitely have a love-hate relationship with audiobooks. If not, then I can always go to my library and request a physical copy there, but I'm hoping the audiobook will be fine. So those are the 5 books that I definitely need to read in February, and seeing as February is the shortest month, 5 books is a lot already. So without further ado, we're going to move swiftly on to pulling prompts out of my jug to pick the remainder of my February TBR. Because I already have 5 books on my TBR, I'm not going to pull too many. However, there are definitely 4 books in my mind that I want to get to in February that aren't part of the books I've already mentioned. So I'm hoping the prompt jar is nice to me and we get prompts I can actually use to read the other books I am actually interested in reading in February. Otherwise, I'm not sticking to my TBR at all, just as a pre-warn. So let's pull the first prompt. Give it a good shake. And the first prompt is going to be this one. You guys can read it first because we like the tension. What is it? Oh, adult. Okay, that's good. I like adult. And so for the adult prompt, I'm going to be reading The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett, which is actually a library loan that needs to be returned early February. So very glad that I was able to get this onto my TBR. It basically follows a set of twin sisters and they grew up together in a small southern town in America. However, as they grow up, they kind of drift apart. One stays in this small town and the other one goes off and marries a white man and becomes a wife, and then she starts to identify herself as white. So it's about those two like leading completely different lives, and I'm super excited to get to it. And yeah, that is the first book officially kind of prompt wise on my TBR. The next prompt is going to be... Ooh, I hate doing this, like it really isn't the end of the world, but I'm gonna pull this one. I have added brand new prompts to the jar because I felt like adding some new ones, so we could get a new one in today's video. What does that say? I can't even read that. Same colour as your last read. Ooh, same colour as my last read. If we're going for a book that I'm going to finish today as of filming this on the 20th of January, I know a bit early, and my current read is Disaster Tourist, and it's kind of blue and yellow, so I'm going to pick one of those 2 colours. And to make it easier on myself, I'm going to be picking the Kiss Quotient because it's blue and yellow. So to make it easier on myself, I was going to allow myself the prompts I pull to fit the books that are already on my TBR, and this one fits perfectly. So the Kiss Quotient for that prompt, yay! Let's pull another one. Definitely one more, maybe a couple more after that, seeing what the next prompt is going to be. And the next prompt is going to be this one. I'm scared. What does that say? Pull an extra prompt. Okay, now I definitely decide how many prompts I need to pull so I can add an extra. Let's pull... I'm risky. I'm going to pull 5 prompts. So now we have to pull 6. Fun! Just what I need. I'm doing this to myself, really. I could have said, let's pull 3 prompts and I pull 4. But I want to read a lot in February. I'm really into the reading mood at the minute, so I'm hoping, although it's a shorter month, I can still read a lot of these books. If not, it's not the end of the world. I'm here to have fun reading. I'm not pressurizing reading whatsoever in any way, shape or form. So let's pull another prompt. Let's go for this one. I am scared now. I'm scared. What does that say? UK setting? No. No, I don't want this prompt. Okay, this might be stretching it a little bit, but I'm gonna go for The Joy of Small Things by Hannah Jane Parkinson, because this book is a non-fiction all about the small pleasures in life, and it's basically a collection of articles that the author Hannah Jane Parkinson has written at her time at The Guardian, and The Guardian is a UK newspaper, so I'm assuming the author is from the UK, and therefore all of her kind of articles are going to be based from it, like have a UK British perspective. So I'm kind of pushing it, but I do want to try and read a non-fiction book every single month, and I managed to do it in January, so I want to continue the trend and definitely fit one in February. So I'm gonna like push it slightly, but it's my TBR game, it's my TBR, so I'm gonna go for it, and I'm super excited to read this book, so I'm glad that I was able to get it on to my TBR. Let's pull, that was our 3rd prompt, so let's pull a 4th. Let's go for this one. What does that say? I keep pulling them upside down. Last word of last book. Why am I getting all these difficult ones? Last word of last book. The last word in Disaster Tourist is, I haven't finished it yet, so I'm hoping I don't spoil myself. Not that I'm actually enjoying this book, so it doesn't really matter if I do. Them. The last word of this book is them. Them. I'm going to interpret this as in them is a pronoun. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to interpret them as it's a pronoun. So I'm going to pick The Names They Gave Us by Emery Lord because they is also a pronoun. Go with me, guys. Just ride the ride, ride the wave. I really want to read this book because it fits into the Buzzword-a-thon prompt for February. If you don't know, the Buzzword-a-thon is hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala every month, and this month it is pronouns. So this one fits perfectly, and I managed to complete it again in January, and I want to complete it again in February, so we're on a roll, and I'm going to read The Names They Gave Us by Emery Lord. I've read every other Emery Lord book. This is the last book I need to read by them. And I don't actually know what it's about, but I really, really enjoy Emery Lord. I've given all the books I've read by her 4 stars, so I cannot wait to read this one. And all the covers are so pretty as well. Lucy has her perfect summer planned out. Perfect boyfriend, perfect job, and quality time with her perfect parents. Then her mum's cancer comes back, and suddenly life makes no sense. Before she knows it, Lucy finds herself agreeing to volunteer as a counsellor at a camp for troubled kids, where lives are more different from her own than she could have possibly imagined. Here Lucy meets the dashing and mysterious fellow counsellor Jones, who will change the way she sees the world forever. With tragedy hovering at the edges of Lucy's life, this summer she must find out who she really is and what it means to love. I don't, like I keep saying, don't read YA a lot anymore, but I do want to complete Emery Lord's backlist, and this is the last book I need to read. It does sound interesting. I'm just a little bit wary of the main character and her view on life and if I'm going to relate to it, but I've heard this is a lot of people's favourite Emery Lord book, so I'm super excited to get to it nevertheless. Okay, this is our 5th prompt, and it's going to be this one. I'm just pulling it random. There's no rhyme or reason. Oh my god, it's random colour again. I had a random colour last month. Okay, well hopefully it's pink because I have a lot of pink books on my TBR that I definitely need to read. So let's get a random colour generator up. Okay, 3, 2, 1. What kind of colour is that? Oh, okay, no wait, I can do it. I can do it. This is exciting. Okay, so for that random colour, I'm gonna go for The Tattooist of Auschwitz by Heather Morris. I've been wanting to read this book for so long, and I just feel like I need to read it in the winter time. It definitely feels more like a wintry story to me, and this book basically follows the concentration camps in World War II, and that's all I know, and that's all I want to know. I've been reading this for so long now, and I'm just super, super excited to get to it. It's definitely out of my comfort zone because it is historical fiction, but I'm excited to read it nevertheless, and I definitely feel like those kind of 2 colours go together. It definitely gives me similar like murky vibes. So we're going to go with it. It's my TBR game once again. So far, so good. These are like all the books I've wanted to get onto my TBR. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's pull the last prompt and hopefully I can get a book on there that is already on there, if that makes sense. So let's go for this one. New to me author. Oh, okay, I'm excited. New to me author. Okay, I have options for that one because I can either read It Ends With Us by Colin Hoover, or it can be Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas because I haven't read either of those before. So that's exciting. I will put this book in that place for now because I own a physical copy of it, so we can do a nice little book stack. But I could read one of those 2 for that prompt, so that's exciting. So with all that stress and worry, we have finally figured out my February TBR. It's a big one for February because it is, like I said, the shortest month, but I'm excited, so excited nevertheless. So as a recap, we'll be reading The Kiss Quotient, which fits the prompt of Same Colour as Your Last Book, The Bride Test, and The Heart Principle. We'll then be reading The Vanishing Half for the adult prompt, The Joy of Small Things by Hannah Jane Parkinson for UK setting, kind of pushing it, but I don't care at this point. The Names They Gave Us by Emery Lord as the last word of your last book prompt, Tattooist of Auschwitz for the random colour generator. I can't believe I got that prompt again. And for New to Me author, I'm going for It Ends With Us by Colin Hoover or Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas. So this is my February TBR, including Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas. and it looks quite colourful and quite diverse actually, which I'm super excited for. If you guys followed my January TBR, you know that I have book challenges that I need to complete each month. So the first one is to make sure that one book has been translated, and I don't think any of these have been translated, but that is fine. I am really struggling with translated fiction at the minute. I read 3 in January anyway, so I'm not that fussed to not get one of those. On February's TBR, I think I need a break from translated fiction. And the second one is to make sure that one of my books has been borrowed, whether that's from the library or Scribd, and that can work for Cemetery Boys, so I'm covering that challenge. Next one is making sure that every month I read a non-fiction book, which I've managed to do, slightly twisting the TBR prompt, but that is fine, and I've got that for The Joy of Small Things by Hannah Jane Parkinson. The next one is to make sure that 50% of my books are diverse that I read. These 3 are obviously by Helen Huan, which is an Asian author. Obviously, The Vanishing Half is a Black author, and Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas is a diverse book as well, so I definitely think I'm going to be hitting 50% of the reads this month, which is brilliant. And the last one I kind of have as a tentative challenge that is an official challenge is the buzzword, which I've managed to complete with the names they gave us. So if I read all these books, my challenges will be going well again in February, so I cannot wait to get to this stack of books, and I'm so glad I was able to get the books I wanted to read on my TBR this month, so yay for me. And with that being said, I'm going to leave you guys here. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a massive thumbs up and subscribe down below to see future content from me. I do anything from monthly TBRs, monthly wrap-ups, vlog style, book recommendations, weekly reading vlogs, themed reading vlogs, and everything else in between that your bookish heart could desire. I probably have it on this channel, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any more future uploads. Comment down below what you are going to be reading in February. Have you read any of these books? Let me know your thoughts down below. I love chatting with you guys, and without further ado, I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.